comes to British cars, there's a very, very, very thin line of what you can and what you can't, what is seen as justifiable, let's call it that. So on this specific car, we did upgraded front brakes, which is everybody's happy with. We have upgraded the exhaust system to branches and a free flow stainless steel exhaust system. We have gone back to factory color paint, factory interior, but you can't really go crazy on something like that because it will devalue the car. The car's gearbox was changed from a 4-speed non-synchro mesh box, which was just not adequate for today's traffic, and we've gone to a box which is imported from America. It's purposely built for these Jaguars. They can take the punch and you can keep up in modern traffic. You don't have to double clutch and do all of those things we had to do in the past. The car's shock absorbers is obviously modern Bilstein shock absorbers, not the old oil shock absorbers, because these cars were renowned to be twitchy. And I think you can sort of stiffen the car out a lot with modern suspension without deterring from the price tag of the car or the authenticity of the car for that matter. This car is also listed on the Jaguar Heritage site, and it's got all its certificates. I think the car's history itself is something that adds a hell of a lot to the value when it comes to British cars, where it doesn't really has that bigger effect. If it's anything, I wouldn't say anything else, but a lot of other cars you can take out a 6-cylinder and you can put in an 8-cylinder, or you can put in a 2JZ engine or anything like that is possible. But on the British cars, I think the most important thing is that it needs to be matching numbers, very important. You need to be able to trace a history of the car. The history of this specific car is traceable basically from the first tag it had in South Africa, or the disc as we talk about, up to the current one. And there is a gap in that term where the car was deregistered, where it wasn't drivable, to the point where Alexander Khan, a customer of ours, bought the car. There's a history, there's a story. And I think that's the important thing, and I think this is why we love, or why I love doing what I do, is the history, the story. It either makes you laugh or cry. We had to fabricate a lot of new panels for this vehicle. I think there was a point where I was crying when it came to bodywork. The build just ran away with us completely. But we had to do it right, because that's what we do. We want to send out pretty much the most perfect example of that car if we built it. Well, this is the metal in question. The E-Type build, it's a car that we're very, very proud of. There's a lot going on inside and under the bonnet. On the interior, there's the branches, they're ceramic coated inside and outside. Where they stop, it continues on a stainless steel exhaust system with small little details. Nitpicking when it comes to European cars is you'll see stickers everywhere on the car, which you'll normally not find, but that was placed by the factory when the car was built new. And it's so important, right to the tags on the harness. Everything has to be marked. In this case, everything is marked Lucas, where the car originally also came out with a generator and not an alternator. And for the modern things we use, as in iPods and cell phones and so forth, the car is prepped to handle all the modern devices as well, although everything is hidden away to such an extent that it won't deter from the rest of the car. Even the old glass bottles to wash the windscreen wipers. And then there's a small little thing, triplex laminate glass, which is all stuff that was, it's all the little details. Inside on the rev counter, there is certain oil to use. So it's all these small little things. For the purist and the non-purist, there's small details inside the bonnet. If we look there, we would dress up in stainless steel. Normally these would be painted bolts, but they do go rusty and they start looking very tacky after a while. And so is everything that you see that is in silver. There is the shortcut, the short method of doing it by painting it silver, or there's the way of sending it off to the platers and getting it cadmium plated. The interior kit was ordered from the UK to make it as authentic as possible in the right materials. It's very difficult with the European cars to always find the exact replica carpets and vinyls. And we find it easier just to import all of that to put a car back to a factory standard. If you go to this car, it is just yet again a craftsman at its best. If everything doesn't fit together properly, it can't work. From the mechanic to the painter, to the auto electrician, to the upholsterer, to the guy that details the car at the end of the day, or the guy that's just going to experience the car for what it is. If it doesn't work in unison, it just doesn't work. And in the car business today, you should thank your little stars if you can get a shop where you can do everything at once, because that's the backbreaker in this business in South Africa.